Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Ciao, Kate. Ciao. Ciao, Tutti.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, everyone. So we're just going to take a few minutes to let a few more people in. And the funniest thing just happened. We were sitting waiting for Giacomo and his beautiful sister, Elisa, to jump on the call. And we were supposed to meet like 15 minutes early. And I started WhatsApping them, where are you guys? Where are you guys? And they were like, oh my gosh, the hour changed last night. So they're now, instead of 9 hours ahead of us, they're 8 hours ahead of us. So essentially I was like, we start in 10 minutes. So they're trying to get on. Elisa is here. Elisa is
to meet you.
Giacomo's sister. She's in Marche, and she was supposed to be in the cantina to help Giacomo because he's not super confident with his English, although I think he speaks great English, but Elisa's English is amazing. And so she was going to be in the cantina, but another funny twist, welcome to my world, her two daughters tested positive for coronavirus, so she's quarantining. So she's doing this from her home in Marche near the cantina, and she is waiting for Giacomo to get on. He's going to give us a beautiful tour of the cantina as soon as he gets on. And Elisa has the wines. She's going to be tasting with us. As I mentioned, her English is great. So she's going to tell us. She's also going to tell us about the history of the winery, which I think is really beautiful and amazing. And okay, so just a couple of things. If you have any questions, if you could put them in the little chat section at the end, we'll reserve some time so everyone can have their questions answered. And I also would love it if at the end we could all take a screenshot, which would be really cool. We haven't done that yet. Since this is the last tasting in this series, I hope that would be really fun. So if everyone could hang tight, if anybody can't wait until the very end, maybe just send a chat message so Sam knows. And before the questions start, we could take a photo because I don't want to hold anyone up. I know it's a Sunday and everyone has their program and what they need to do. So anyway, with that, I'd like to introduce Elisa, Giacomo's sister. She is so kindly here to tell us all about the winery and the history and help us taste through these gorgeous wines. And take it over.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to everybody. And welcome to this tasting. Thank you very much to Hami for this invitation. We are very, very happy to participate this evening. This evening for us, this morning for you, because in Italy now it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon. So for me it's evening, instead for you it's morning. So nice to meet you. So I'm Giacomo's sister. My brother is the owner and the enologist of the company. Instead, me and my family, all my family, we work together in the winery. So today we want to present to you our three wine. But before, I want to present the history of our company. So this company was born during the 1950s, when our grandparents, Primo and Delia, had a little mixed company. And they produced fruit, vegetables, olive oil, and they had a little vineyard. They had a little winery under the house, and they sell wines to neighbor, parents, and friends. And then during the 1960, My father began to work in the mixed company with their parents, and they continue to work in a mixed company for a long of time. But then we sell all grapes to a big winery around this area. But in 2005 the price unfortunately go down. In that moment, my brother Giacomo studied to be an enologist, and my father wanted to begin a cellar to produce grapes and produce wine, so we can have all production in our company. And in the 2006 we built the company, and my brother began this experience as an enologist and owner of this company. Our company is a family company, so all together we work in the cellar. My brother, as you know, is the enologist and the owner. My father Mario and my husband Federico worked in the whole processing of vineyard. Me, my sister and my sister-in-law and my mother, we work in the shop and in the office. So we organize all works, all selling, all you need to work. So we are very, very happy to work together, and it's a good satisfaction for us. And now, today, our company is growing. It's growing, and now we have 35 hectares of organic vineyard. Organic means that we treat the grapes only with the sulfur and copper. Sulfur and copper are products that protect the grapes from the heat. They don't cure because they are natural product. And in the winery, we have to use only organic yeast, and we have to respect a lot of law. And then after this processing, we have a lot of checking during the all processing of work in vineyard, in the cellar, and all inspector come in the winery, check if we can write on the label organic product. Okay? Is it okay, my English for everybody? I hope it's okay.
Bravissima. I must say proprio bravissima.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much. And I have introducing your our company. Now, if there is my brother, I want to show the company, but I think I don't know if
Sam, is Giacomo on yet?
Some problems. Is there Giacomo now?
No, not quite. Hold on.
No.
He said 13 minutes ago that he will be able to arrive in the cantina, excuse me, in 30 minutes. So maybe we start with the tasting, and then Giacomo can give us a tour of the cantina after we're done with the tasting, which is fun too.
Okay. Okay, now we test wine, and then if Giacomo arrives in the winery, he can show to you the cantina. Okay?
Perfect. So, Elisa, are we going to start with the bubble?
Sparkling wine?
Yes.
Okay, with the bubble. Yes.
Great. Now, Elisa has a little different bottle, which is arriving in the next order. All of us have this other bottle, so
Battle is changing in this moment, and then in the next with the next order you will have. Yes.
We're all tasting the same wine.
There we go.
Opa!
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
You and to this tasting.
Very fun.
So this is a bottle of Passerina. This is so to prepare this product. So I begin with the composition. The composition of this product is 100% Passerina. Passerina is a typical vineyard of this area, one of the most famous, and is very important. Produce sparkling with Passerina grapes because it has a good acidity. So we can produce Champenois method with Passerina. So to prepare sparkling wine with Passerina, we harvest Passerina grapes before the complete maturation. So in this case, we harvest it at the beginning of September. Instead, Passerina to produce wine is harvesting in the middle of October. So in this case, to produce sparkling, we harvest Passerina at the beginning of September. So we can have a light wine. Okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after the harvesting, we put the must to begin the fermentation. The must ferment for about 20-25 days at a low temperature, about 10 degrees, to preserve all aroma and all parfum. And this thing is very important because if the fermentation during for a lot of time, but in a low temperature, we can preserve all aromas of wine. And then after the fermentation, it aged for about 3-4 months in the stainless steel until the wine is clean and ready to begin the second fermentation. In this moment, we put wine with yeast and sugar in the bottle. Okay? We put everything in the bottle and here begin the fermentation for about 18-24 months. And the bottle stay in horizontal position for about 3-4 months. And then we put all bottles on pupitre. We need pupitre to put the bottle in vertical position. And each 2 days we come to the bottle to go around. So the lids go near the top of the bottle. And they rest in this position, in vertical position, for about 18-24 months. It depends of the selling. And then after this period, we put out all lids near the top with a particular machine, and we put Passerina wine in the bottle.
To top it
So
off.
in this we have a terre di Offida, so 100% Passerina sparkling wine. Okay, have you understand? If you have any question, you can ask to me. No problem.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
So we do have a
Thank you very
question.
much. Thank you, thank you. And this sparkling wine is good to eat for aperitif with friends, with fresh cheese, fish, and white meat.
Great. I think we do have one question Sam mentioned.
Yes. So what grapes are used for each wine today?
For this wine, we use only Passerina grapes.
Great. Perfect.
And we have another one that just came in. So why are you changing to a clear bottle?
I'm not sure that they're changing to a clear bottle. She just happens to have that bottle. For this classic, this is the champagne method that they use for this bottle. And that's the method that she just explained. And that's what everybody has in this bottle, which is if you pick it up, it's very heavy. It has a very large indentation at the bottom. It's a different shape. I think it's a beautiful particular bottle. They do this wine in different bottles for different markets. And because this is a more expensive bottle, of course I liked it and wanted it here because I thought it was more particular, but it's the same exact wine that she has in that bottle. They also do another Passerina sparkling that is Charmant, which means they don't do it in the bottle. They don't do it vertical. They don't have the yeast. They don't freeze it off. They don't add to the top. It's all done in Charmant is just only done in the stainless steel. The filtration is done, fermentation is done. It's all done in stainless, and then they bottle it. So they also do that bottle, which I also think is very pretty. A different product, which we also will be carrying soon. So they do 2 different bottles for 2 different products. I like the more expensive Passerina that's done in this, you heard how long it takes to create this product in a special bottle, personally. That's what I wanted to bring to America. And the other Charmant we'll have in that bottle. Any other questions?
Thank you for the explaining, Javi.
Of course, it's complicated. I love this. I love Passerina. I love the color, the bubbles. It's so pretty and delicious. Is that Giacomo?
Sì, aspetta che mi sta messaggiando Giacomo, vedo che mi dici.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in the meantime, if Giacomo is not yet in the cantina, we can just go right into
We can't hear.
the next one. Oh, Sam, can you take Elisa off of mute?
Yep, I just,
Ok.
Eccolo.
we're good.
Do you hear me?
Ci senti?
Ok.
Ok,
Ok.
se Giacomo non è pronto, possiamo iniziare.
Giacomo in 3-4 minutes is ready.
Va benissimo. Vuoi iniziare adesso con
Okay.
Valerio?
Yes, now I can show to you Valerio.
Perfetto.
Okay. Before to explain you of Valerio, I would to speak about our glass stopper. Is it possible?
Yes, please, because I don't want anyone to try to use a corkscrew to open it.
Yes, I show to you everything. Before to speak to you about the next wine, I want to show another particular thing of our company. We bottle all wines with glass stopper. So when we choose this type of top, we want to create unease to the eyes and useful. So we decide to use glass stopper to close and open our bottle. In fact, you can open and close the bottles by hand. And if you go to the restaurant and you don't finish all bottles, you can close the bottles and you can take away with you. So we can take away at home the bottles you don't have finished. And then another most important thing is that glass is an organic product. So you respect the organic law. And for us, it's very important that our customer drink a natural wine, because for us it's very important this thing. And then another important solution is that the wine don't have infiltration of oxygen, so the wine is good for a long time. Okay, next wine is Valerio. And Valerio is the most historic DOC of our area. In fact, it's a blend. In this case, we have a blend of 50% Trebbiano grapes, 25% Passerina grapes, and 25% Pecorino grapes. Trebbiano is the oldest grapes of our area. Is the white grapes that our grandparents planted in the past. Passerina and Pecorino represent the most important famous grapes of this area. Okay, in fact, with this blend was born Valerio. In this case, you have you are tasting the vintage 2019. Have you 2019, honey?
No, we have 2018. Yeah.
18. Now we are selling 2019.
Yes. We have
the percent of alcohol is 13%. And in this case, you have a fresh wine, a sapid wine. So you can drink it with fish, with white meat, with fresh cheese. In fact, this wine is very, very fresh. In the nose, and in the mouth. It's floral, fresh. Do you know? Do you like?
I don't even need, I have a really a sensitive palate. I can't drink espresso. It's too acidic for me. I have to have like a shot of espresso with a gallon of milk or I can't drink it. So I have a hard time with very acidic wines. I have to eat with those wines. This wine is so beautifully balanced.
Another most important particular is that all the grapes in the bottle are selected by hand. So we, during the harvesting, we select by hand all grapes, and then we put in little tanks with carbon dioxide.
Right. I think it's beautifully balanced. It's just, it's great. You don't have to eat. I don't feel like I have to eat something with it, which is nice because when I'm cooking dinner, I like to have a glass of wine while I'm cooking dinner. And this is the perfect, this wine is perfect for that.
And during dinner.
And during dinner. It's great with food too. Absolutely.
Do you like Hami?
I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This lineup is some of my very favorites. Just really quickly,
Okay.
bottle. Elisa, I want to
This
show
is, so, in this case, you have the white wine similar that produced our grandparents in the past.
Tell them about the bottle.
So I keep all of these bottles for bubble bath, bath salts. I make salad dressing and put it in this bottle because it keeps it fresh with the glass top. It's easy. These bottles are great. When I make limoncello, I use the bottle to pour the limoncello in and give them as gifts. These bottles are great.
I actually learned from a friend of mine who's an engineer that said the engineering of this top is really amazing. So I guess there's a huge amount of work that goes into the tolerances and making it seal like that. So you know, I'm blown away. It's cool.
Yes.
That's it for me.
Oh my gosh. Elisa looks like she maybe froze.
I think we lost her.
Sorry, Hami. I had a little problem with internet.
That's okay. You're back. We all love this wine.
You love it?
Yes,
Yes.
it's very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So should we
So
move into?
cute. Yeah, you want to open this?
Yeah.
All right.
So
So
this period, we are during the harvesting time. We have just finished. And this period in the winery, we work a lot. So the men are very, very busy.
I know it's busy for you.
I'm stopped at home because my daughter's has coronavirus, but I think this bad period can go.
Go away soon.
I know it was challenging for you guys to arrange to do this, and I am so appreciative. It means the world to me to be able to have you and eventually Giacomo here to explain to everyone and that's joining us how special these wines are. Because you know, people can go to the website and they can buy them, but to have the story behind it and the faces behind it and the love that you put into it, it really just makes it all the more special. And of course they're delicious wines no matter what, but I feel like when I met you guys and visited your vineyard and your family, I was just like in love with all of you. Of course I love the wine because it's delicious, it's organic, like, you know, all my little check marks were checked off, but having the relationship with you guys was what really made it even more special. Now, hopefully we'll get to see Giacomo because he's quite the character.
Is Giacomo. Just one moment, Harry.
No problem.
Well, you want to go into one of these, or?
I feel like it's just like the perfect, all the things that.
He said that he hasn't the link. Is it possible?
Well, I sent it to Giacomo Centanni 1986 at gmail.com.
Yes.
Sam?
I think he's checking.
Vuoi che io mando al WhatsApp a lui?
Oh, ok, puoi. Yes. You can send by WhatsApp.
Va bene, aspetta, io faccio subito. Un attimino.
Can I wait, Annie, to speak about Pecorino, or I can?
No, vai avanti e io faccio questo.
Okay, I go on. Okay, the last wine is Pecorino. Pecorino is the most famous wine in this area. Is for our company is the wine that give us the best satisfaction because each vintage won some award during Vinitaly and during all selection where we present it. So Pecorino, in this case, I have 2019. I don't know, Hami, what vintage have you now?
18.
Sì, sono tutti e due
18. So in this case, I have 2019.
Right, which we have
2019 during Vinitaly. This year there wasn't Vinitaly, but there was the selection, and you won with 93 points. So for us is the wine that during these years give us the most satisfaction. In fact, Pecorino in the past, all farmers doesn't plant it because it has a little grapes, and it has it produces about 50-60 quintals for hectares, and it produces a little quantity of wine. So the farmers doesn't plant it. Instead, in the last 10 years, who want to produce a wine with an high quality, plant it. In fact, in this moment, is the most famous wine in this area. Okay? This wine is has a 9% of alcohol. In fact, is 14% of alcohol. And in this case, you can drink a white wine with meat too, because it has a 9% of alcohol. In fact, you can drink it with roast of fish, white and red meat, and whole cheese.
Beautiful.
Okay? Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Yeah. Nice.
You can hear yellow fruit. It has a good acidity, a good sapidity, and it has a good structure in the mouth.
Finalmente Giacomo sta arrivando. Adesso lui è un rockstar, che entra come un rockstar. Finalmente!
So he's arriving, he's entering.
If anybody doesn't know what the differences are,
We are waiting Giacomo.
we're waiting Giacomo. Eccolo! Giacomo! Mannaggia te!
Giacomo.
Come sei bello!
Eccolo, è
Mai
arrivato.
c'è là. Mi senti? It's connecting to audio. No, Sam, he's on mute. If you could take him off.
Ora, sei pregata di
Elisa.
Sì, ci sentiamo.
Sì,
Mi sentite?
Ciao, Giacomo.
sì,
Ok, ci
Giacomo, benvenuto.
È un rockstar.
Come state?
Ciao.
Ciao, scusate il
Eccolo,
ritardo.
Giacomo.
Niente, no,
Scusate il ritardo.
Sorry for the late.
con l'orario cambiato non mi potevo.
Today changed the hours in Italy, so we have a surprise.
No crises. Everyone is totally fine and everyone is having a great time with your sister. She's doing an amazing job. Cosa vuoi fare? Vuoi che adesso siamo sulla Pecorino, l'ultimo vino. Cosa vuoi fare? Finisciamo con questo e poi facciamo un piccolo tour con te?
I have
Va bene, va bene.
I have finished the
Finite col pecorino,
so
poi dopo...
then if now they have some question, I can answer to you.
Okay,
Then Giacomo, if you don't have question, Giacomo can show the winery.
forse facciamo prima il tour e poi dopo facciamo domande, così
Okay.
tutto insieme.
Va
Okay,
bene.
Giacomo now make the tour and then all customer can make question. Okay.
Va bene con te,
Ok.
Giacomo? Okay, we're gonna do the little tour, the
Vado.
little tour, not little, but we're gonna do a tour, an abbreviated tour with
Yes.
Giacomo. This is Giacomo Centanni. He is the enologist and the winemaker and the owner of Centanni. This is Alisa's brother. He's been very generous with his time because he's been in harvest and they've been working very hard, and he's here, of course, by no fault, a little late because we didn't know about the hour change. And give us a tour. Vuoi fare un tour adesso?
Ok,
Ok.
parlo in italiano o in inglese?
Se può fare in inglese, sei bravissimo. Se non si senti bene a fare in inglese, non c'è un problema. Ma noi possiamo anche fare.
Ci provo.
Lo
Allora,
supporto io quando c'è
Nice
bisogno.
do it in English, people. So let's all encourage him because I think his English is great, and I know I get embarrassed by Italian, so I understand how he feels. Go for it.
Ok, we are in the winery. This is the machine where we put the grapes. The second process is work the grapes. Work the grapes. The next machine
These are the press. Giacomo, show the press.
Yes, this is the presser. The next process is to separate the stems
In
from
juice.
juice. The press to separate the skin from juice. This is our winery. Now we are in the harvest grapes. It's not very clean.
It looks amazing, actually. I've been in a lot of for harvest.
In this moment, they work a lot in the winery, and sometimes it's not very clean.
In this area, this is the area of fermentation juice. All the wine fermentation and the Stella still. We are two parts of the winery. The parts for fermentation red grapes, and the part to fermentation the white juice. Because two different processes, the red fermentation and the white fermentation. In the red fermentation, the grapes, the juice ferment with the skin. In the white, the juice to ferment without the skin, only juice. We are other machine. This is a filter. Before imported the wine, we filter the wine. It's very important for the stability of the wine. This is the other part of the winery. This is a pump, simply pump to take the wine from one tank in another tank. And this is the place in the stainless steel. We are another parts of winery is the come si dice, Lisa, la parte di invecchiamento?
Age, where we age the red wine.
Aging room.
Okay, and now we go.
Now we go. I love this.
Giacomo
Sorry
is
for my
running
English.
this evening.
Giacomo, you're doing a great job.
Okay.
Giacomo is running from one part to another part.
Their property in Marche is so beautiful.
This is
I'd have to visit.
the panorama of
So
our
pretty.
winery.
This is the front of the shop.
Yes.
If you see on the door, you can see was born 2 babies. Giacomo, fai vedere I fiocchi.
Ah, yes.
Once was born 2 babies. Giacomo son and Daniela daughters in 1 month.
Perfect.
During the harvest grapes.
Of course.
We were very, very busy.
E lì c'è connessione, si vede?
Sì, si vediamo.
Sì, sì, vai, non ti allontanare
Ok.
più di tanto, il capo non ti prende più.
Sì.
Bravo.
This is the area where we have the wine in the
aging.
wood. The wine aging in the wood. All the wood have a different type and a different year of red wine. The wine, come si dice lì? Sta qui, sleep for about aged for about minimum 1 year. And it depends of the type of the wine and the quality of the wine. When the wine is in the wood, li aiutami che è difficile, il vino
Sì.
diventa più morbido e meno spigoloso, quindi meno tannico.
It becomes less
Yeah.
tannic and softer. Less tannic
Ok.
and
Thank you,
softer.
Anne. Thank you for the helping.
E avviene una microossigenazione tra l'esterno con l'interno, quindi una piccola...
Aspetta che stai parlando in italiano ancora. Cambiamo in inglese.
Allora, is a little microoxygenation
Microoxygenation.
in the wood, and the wine is come si dice lì, acquista le migliori proprietà e diventa molto più buono.
It
Okay.
takes on the characteristics of the wood and it becomes better. I mean, not all of the characteristics of it, but it takes on what you want it to for as long as you keep it there.
The last wood is for the another type of white wine. Is only for pecorino white because only pecorino is, have the capacity of the aged in the wood.
So I explain, Amy. In the last barrel, you see in this area, there is the unique white wine aged. Is the pecorino, because now you have tasting pecorino aged only in stainless steel, but we have another type of pecorino aged in wood. So we can test in another tasting in the future if you want.
Absolutely.
Then now we go in our shop point.
Shop.
This is
So this is
our shop of the wine, and we have all our premi. Elisa, mi dice prime.
all with all awards we won in these years.
Yeah.
Wow. Very impressive.
In our shop, you can sell wine. We can sell wine, but we have a little area tasting. So
Yes.
we can show all wine we have to our client.
And I have to say, when I visited you all, it was,
Yeah.
they brought out plate after
When
plate.
you want to come, you are welcome at us.
And everything was perfectly paired with every single wine. It was an experience. If you're in Marche, you have to visit them. It's really amazing.
When you want, Amy. Everybody want. You are our guests. If it will be possible in the future after COVID.
We'll be there,
Mhm.
for sure, we'll be there.
Are we going into
When you want.
other
We wait you.
Oh, Giacomo's going to sit down and maybe have a glass of wine with us.
Yes, now he's sitting, yes.
Okay.
He's ready.
He's ready. Il Rockstar
What type do you taste?
Pecorino.
That's the Passerina Champenois method.
Mm?
We have that's Valerio and Pecorino.
Ok. Tutti, tutti assaggiati? Avete assaggiato tutti?
Sì,
Sì, abbiamo assaggiato.
Ok. Is a good tasting?
Yeah. We missed you. Your sister did an amazing job. Ma abbiamo mancato te, ma la tua sorella, anche lei è un rockstar, ha fatto...
È brava, it's
è
good.
bravissima, veramente. E non potevo fare senza di lei, sicuramente. Ma adesso facciamo un po' di domande, forse. Shall we take some questions, if anyone has any?
Ok, no problem.
Yes. So this question is for both of you. Did you always know you wanted to work in wine and follow in your grandparents' footsteps?
Elisa, che hai detto?
Ami, non ho capito un passaggio, mi si è bloccato internet.
Ok. Lei ha chiesto se quando voi arrivati piccoli, bambini, sapete già che volevo essere in questa industria, fare vini, andare nei
Ok.
i nonni e parenti?
Vai tu Giacomo, vado io.
No, parla tu Elisa, è difficile la domanda per me.
For the first thing, I want to say to all of you, we love our work. We put our heart in our work. And when we were little baby, we see our grandparents and our father make this work. But in that time, we haven't the dream because we were too little. But in this moment, we love our work, and we work with all the art we have. For us, in this moment, is a passion, not only a work.
That's beautiful. Very nice. Anche per te, Giacomo, quando tu eri piccolo, non volevo essere in logistica, non volevo essere...
Io ho spiegato che quando eravamo piccoli, Giacomo, guardavamo nostro padre e non sapevamo che ancora, cioè non è che lo sognavamo, però in questo momento lavoriamo veramente con tanta passione.
Di che c'è stata un'evoluzione veramente forte nel tempo, perché prima eravamo solo produttori di uva, si è investito molto.
Io ho spiegato tutto.
Si è investito molto nel tempo.
During the time the company changing, because in the past the companies was very little. They had it was a mixed company. Our grandparents and our father produced vegetables, fruits, olive oil, and then during these 15 years we changed the company. Now we have 35 hectares of vineyard. We produce about 150.000 bottiglie già?
Sì.
150,000 bottles of wine. So during the time the company changed, because in the past our grandparents and our father that don't have a company similar today. They have another type of company.
And also what I think is really amazing about what your family is doing is you all are producing so many different signature grapes in your area. You're highlighting the signature grapes in your area and making amazing DOC and DOCG wines from those grapes. Off the top of my head, I want to say you have like 8 or 9 different, maybe more, wines that you produce, which is a lot. I mean, you're saying you have a lot of hectares and a lot of grapes, but you have them divided into different, you have the Fulleri, you have the Pastorina, then you have the Charmant Pastorina, you have the Pecorino, you have the Mille Flores, you have the Forca di Rosso, you have the Primo Dahlia after your grandparent.
Primo Dahlia, yes, yes.
Produce a lot of different varietals of wine,
But
which
you're gonna be bringing them in.
which is
We produce different types of grapes, and with the different type of grapes we have, we can produce all our portfolio wines.
it's great. I love that.
We have Passerina and Pecorino DOCG. So they are, I explained before that they are the most famous wines in our area. And then we produce Sangiovese for red, Sangiovese, Montepulciano. We have Trebbiano to produce Valerio. We have, and then with all the variety of grapes we have, we can produce all our portfolio wines.
But all type of our farm is typical grapes of the area.
Yes, that's what I love. You guys are the best expression of the Marche region of having the white and the red grapes that I've ever visited. You guys are very, very special. Very special. Any other questions, Sam?
Yes. Are you wanting to also continue this legacy with your children? And like continue to pass down the winery through them?
Vuoi che anche i vostri bambini, quando sono grandi, fanno questo lavoro come voi?
If it's normal, each parents build something for their son. But in the future, if they like our work, this work, we are very happy if they can continue. But if they don't like, it's better no, because each one of us, yes, because if they we hope that our son can continue this work. But we want our son will be happy in the future. Yes. So each work it's okay, but we hope that our son continue this work. We hope.
Yes.
Maybe they should.
That's great. So we didn't include the Primo Dahlia in our presentation today because it's a very limited production. Not much is made, and it's quite expensive, although not for the quality. But I would love for whomever feels more comfortable, Giacomo or Elisa, to talk about, this is named after their grandparents who started the farm, the vineyard.
Okay, I can explain about this wine.
How you came about naming it.
And it's a secret blend, so we don't know what grapes are in it, so don't ask.
Yes, it's a secret blend.
Off limits.
I remember when
I explain about it, Ami. Can I explain about Primo Dahlia?
Sì, certo.
Sì, parla del Primo Dahlia.
Okay. So, Primo Delia is the wine dedicated to our grandparents. Primo, our grandfather that died 12 years ago, and Delia, our grandmother that instead she lived. She's 85 years old, but she lived. So we want to create a wine that to dedicate to them heat. So we create a wine similar the wine they produced in the past. We ask the receipt to our grandmother, and she show it. The percent of the vineyard, the grapes, and we prepare this wine. This wine is particular because we produce only 1,000 bottles each year, and each bottles on as the private number. You can show Hami if you can.
Yes, each one has a different.
No, because you have another label.
I don't think they can see
You have
it.
another label.
It's American
But
label.
Here in Italy, sorry, here in Italy, each bottle has the private number. So in this case, we have normal cork, not topper, but sugar. But cork, sorry, no sugar.
Cork.
Normal cork. Because for this red wine is better the normal cork. And the recipe is a secret because we want to preserve a secret, because it's the recipe of our grandparents. In this case, the wine aged for 1 year in stainless steel, 1 year in the barrel, and 1 year in the wood, before in the bottle, before the selling.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a very special wine.
We've got one of those
Thank you.
for you when you come to visit us, Bob.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Hami.
Are there any more questions?
Yes, we do have one more question.
Okay.
Giacomo, the ladies would like to know if you're single.
Ho capito bene?
Vogliono tutti le donne qui vogliono sapere se tu sei singolo o sei sposato.
Sono sposato e ho 2 bambini.
Married, he has children. He just had a son, Leonardo, quite recently.
Christian e Leonardo, sì.
And but yes, he is adorable. We can all agree. Okay, so if everyone would be willing to put their video on, I think Sam wants to take a screenshot of all of us, since this is the last tasting in this series, not the last tasting we're having, because we are ramping up a whole new series. It's going to be really fun. We've got lots of new wines coming in the next few weeks, depending on how long it takes to get here from Italy, but we've got a lot of new wines coming. A lot of Giacomo's new wines are coming. We're adding all of his wines to our portfolio. Madre Vite, which was our first tasting, we're adding all of his wines to our portfolio. Poggio Grande. We've got a new Prosecco coming in from Veneto that is very, very special. They pick it under the moon. They harvest it under the moon, which I think is amazing. We've got some really, really cool new things coming in our next shipment. So we're definitely going to be doing more tastings. We just have to figure out when the new wines are getting here, and we're going to ramp up a whole new series.
And Giacomo, you're coming back again too. You
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are amazing.
Yeah, Alisa, grazie mille. Tuo inglese è perfetto.
Thank you very much.
And Michelle.
Hey, one second.